Jana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanatha Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine. Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagarajamatarine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Reading from Vaisnava K. What kind of devotee are you? It's a Bengali poem written by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Sri Srila Prabhupada. The translation and quotes from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and commentary by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Guru Maharaj. Continuing from text 6. Shri Hori Shambandho Shunyamaya Gandho Taha Kabhu Noy Jadero Koito Pratishtha Chandali Nirjanata Jali Ubhaya Janiha Maika Raurav. Translation. My dear mind, why are you so proud of being a pure devotee of Krishna? A pure devotee of the Lord performs favorable devotional service in his constitutional relationship as an eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. A pure devotee's desire to serve Lord Krishna is completely pure and without the influence of even a trace of material motives. Your practice of solitary worship is simply cheating. But actual pure devotional service is ever free from material duplicity and hypocrisy stemming from the material cheating propensity. My dear mind, beware of both the Pratishtha Chandali, the treacherous witch who enchants and bewilders devotees with a desire for cheap popularity, as well as the Nirjanata Jali, the deadly net of solitary worship, which traps devotees in Maya's illusion when they leave the association of devotees to perform solitary devotional service. Know that both are different aspects of the most hellish material existence known as Raurava. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulangayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hariyam Tatsat. Hare Krishna. So, the purport has very strong words that are being used. Even the translation, Srila Prabhupada used very, very strong words. And, this Vaisnava K, we need to understand, is actually at a, this is the stage of, in our devotional practice, this is the stage of anartha nivritti. And this Vaishnava K helps us in uprooting those anarthas, those unwanted qualities, at least recognize, makes us recognize these unwanted qualities and unwanted natures that are inherent within each and every one of us. And we have somehow become very oblivious to these things. So this Vaishnava K is, showing us, it's like a mirror showing us our true reflection so that we can correct ourselves, we can really go beyond these different negativities and try to render, unalloyed, unmotivated, pure devotional service. That is the main purpose of Vaishnava K. So therefore, the words that are used here can sometimes appear to be very strong, but let's not be disheartened by that, but try to see it as coming from the Acharyas. This is a great mercy, an opportunity for us to really face the bare truth of life, and so that we can see our reflection as it is, as we are, and then we can move forward based on the teachings of this book. So with that, and by seeking the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Sri Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Vargas, we are trying to understand the purport of this particular verse. It is explained here, Srila Prabhupada very beautifully says in the purport, there are two kinds of dangers, two kinds of dangerous positions that we can be in. One is under the grasp of this treacherous witch. It's a very strong word. Treacherous witch. Chandali. A witch, Maya. Maya Devi is so strong. She's so expert in making us feel that she is our greatest well-wisher. She'll say, oh, you just came out of your sickness. How sick you are. You deserve to take some break. You deserve to, take good rest. You should take some good rest. And even if you don't chant one day, what is the problem? You can make up the next day. So it's all right. Take some rest. You deserve it. See, even it is said in the Shastra, you should take care of your body. So she's so expert in offering advice to us, which will feel like, oh yes, she's our greatest well-wisher. That's why she's called a Chandali. She's very treacherous. She's very tricky. And she's very, very ruthless. She's extremely ruthless. But Krishna is nothing like that. Krishna actually offers us, a life full of bliss. A life which is full of nothing but just mere pure happiness. That's what Krishna is offering. Krishna is not here to do any kind of bargain with us, like how this treacherous witch always gives us bargaining. Krishna never does bargaining with us. He never tries to trick us. That is the beauty of Krishna. But when we are dealing with this treacherous witch, even we should become as clever as this witch and offer her a counter-argument. And what should be that counter-argument? We should say to this treacherous witch that, oh my dear beautiful Maya Devi, you are so kind to me. I cannot imagine how merciful you are to me. That you are so much thinking of my well-being. How kind you are to me. Yes, that is so true that I came out of the sickness and my body does need some rest. You know what? I'll just give this one moment to Krishna and then I'll give my entire life to you. Maya Devi says, no. Why don't you just give me this one moment? And your entire life, I promise I won't disturb you. I will, make sure that you become a very, very beautiful devotee of Krishna. But this one moment you come and give to me. And then the devotee stays strong and says, by the mercy of Krishna, is able to give another very beautiful argument to Maya Devi. What is that? The devotee says that, my dear Maya Devi, allow me to just give one moment to Krishna. And then I'll come to you for life. I'll come to you for life. But this one moment, allow me to surrender to Krishna. And Maya Devi says, okay, you promise you'll come? He says, yeah. Let me give this one moment to Krishna and then I'm all yours. And this the devotee keeps repeating every moment, every moment, every moment. And like this, moment by moment, an entire lifetime is gone. And before even the lifetime, Maya Devi gives up on that person. And says, okay, now you've gone away from my grasp. You can go on, let me catch another fish. And Maya Devi goes into different territory. So this is how the devotee, by Krishna's and Guru's mercy, is able to get rid of the Maya Jal, or of the witch, that she is laying such a dangerous trap for us. We can immediately get out of it. This Pratishtha Chandali, Maya Devi, she's so clever, she's so amazing, and she's so much trained by Krishna because her job is to filter, She also is Param Vaishnavi. So her job is to actually filter out people to test so that, they are qualified to serve her worshipable Lord. So she has to put in the test to see whether we are determined enough or not. Otherwise, she's not doing her job. So therefore, she gives us so much of allurements. And when these kind of allurements don't work, she gives us the allurement of pratishtha. Pratishtha means desire for cheap popularity. That, look, you are such a wonderful singer. You are such a wonderful speaker. People are just mesmerized by the way you are doing things. You're so great. Come, let everyone worship you. You are worshipable. When Maya Devi says such things, and when the living entity starts enjoying such cheap popularity, then they fall into the treacherous trap of this witch. How to get rid of that trap is by offering each and every credit that comes, offering each and every one of them to the spiritual master, to the previous acharyas, and finally to Krishna. That we actually are nothing, we are just empty. Anything good that is there in us is just a spark that is coming from Guru and Krishna, nothing else. That way we can be sure that we don't fall into the trap of this Pratishtha Chandali, the treacherous witch of cheap material popularity, cheap adoration, name, fame, profit, adoration, distinction of this world is of no use. So this is one of the final tests of Maya. Maya Devi, she gives this as the final test, that you are so great. What a wonderful devotee you are. You are so wonderful. Nobody is qualified to even associate with you. You are above and beyond everybody else. Therefore, you should go and do Nirjan Bhajan. You should, none of these devotees are qualified to even associate with you. You are above and beyond everyone else. So therefore, you should sit in a solitary place and continue your devotional service. What a dangerous trap. What a dangerous proposition. And the mind, if it is weak, the mind will agree to such proposition. And mind will believe in such negative propaganda that yes, it is true indeed that look at me. I am so good. Nobody else is of the level that I am at. So therefore, I should actually just, do my own Nirjan Bhajan. And doing Nirjan Bhajan all by myself will never ever be, we will never ever be able to perform Nirjan Bhajan. We will automatically fall down because without devotees, without being connected to the tree of, devotees, we will fall down like that leaf. When the leaf falls down from the tree, it just dries up, withers, and it ceases to exist. But a leaf that is connected to the tree automatically gets all nourishment from the tree. So if we get away from the association of devotees, we will be like that leaf fallen off from the tree, and we will one day cease to exist. So in the purport, Srila Jayapataka Maharaj very beautifully explains that the impersonalist philosophers, they are very fond of accusing the devotees. How? By saying that, oh, this bhakti, it's just a very sentimental process. It's so easy. You don't have to do anything. It's just so easy peasy. Nothing to do. Look at us. We are doing so much gyan. We are doing so much dhyan. All of this is much more difficult. This is what sometimes the impersonal philosophers think. But actually, it is the performance of devotional service which is, it is the most difficult because it is free from all kind of duplicitous activities. It is free from all kinds of cheating propensities. Devotional service, we won't be able to cheat Krishna. In devotional service, our, equation comes along with Krishna in the equation, and we cannot cheat Krishna. We have to be free from all kinds of duplicitous thoughts, duplicitous activities to be able to attract the mercy coming from Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says, religion without philosophy is mere sentimentality, and philosophy without religion is mere mental speculation. So religion without philosophy means if you are just having religion and no philosophy attached to it, it is just a mere sentiment. But a philosophy, like these scientists, they are doing philosophy, but they don't have any religion attached to it, so it is nothing but mental speculation. They are just doing the hit and try method. And then they are getting errors after errors after errors. Rather, if religion is combined with philosophy, then that is perfection. We know why we are doing what we are doing. So the impersonalist philosophers, that's where they are lacking. So bhakti is something that is a combination of our jnana, of dhyana, and everything culmination into bhakti yoga. Just like Srila Prabhupada very beautifully gave the example, he said, just like $100 bill, it is inclusive of a $1, it is inclusive of $5, $10, $20, $50, all included within that $100. If you have $100, we can buy products worth $1, $5, $10, $20, $50. We can buy anything within those $100. So similarly, in Bhakti Yoga, all the other yogas culminate in Bhakti Yoga. It is the complete yoga process which encompasses all of the other yoga processes. So here it is explained that when we are not paying proper attention, then our Bhakti Lata Bij can get very easily trampled upon by the offenses. And sometimes what happens is, those of us who do gardening can relate to this, that sometimes we may have a very beautiful, sprout coming up. We might have planted, say, a tomato plant. And the plant is coming up, and then side by side, we see that a very identical kind of, tomato plant is also coming up. But if we have proper knowledge, we'll understand that although it looks very identical, it is actually a weed. And it is sucking the nourishment from the actual tomato plant. So therefore, we'll just take that, look-alike, and we'll just uproot it so that all the nourishment gets to the actual tomato plant. So the weeds sometimes have the tendency to also, some weeds are, you can just look at them and say, oh yeah, this is a weed. This does not look anything like my original plant. But sometimes the weeds and the actual plant, they are very, very identical. So that's why sometimes if we are not able to see it, we need an expert gardener who comes and says, yeah, this is actually the weed. And then they just come and uproot all the weeds so that our trees and our plants can function very, very properly. They can get proper nourishment. So that is why we need to be in the proper association of devotees when we ourselves sometimes are not able to identify which is our anartha and which is our bhakti lata kripa. We need the devotees to help us point out that this is the weed, this is the anartha, uproot it, and then the bhakti lata will get more nourishment. That is why in the purport, the association of devotees is very, very beautifully stressed, that this is only when we are in the proper fence of the association of devotees, we are protected from the influence of Maya. We all know the very beautiful pastime of Jada Bharat, actually of Bharat Maharaj. You know, Jada Bharat's two previous lives was as Bharat Maharaj. He was a great king, Maharaj Bharat, and he gave up his kingdom, he gave it to all of his sons, and then he came to the forest to continue his, he wanted to leave the world by, fulfilling his duties as a spiritualist. So he set up a small little hut and he would just sit and meditate. And one day he saw that there was this lion who was chasing, lion or a tiger, was chasing this mother deer. She was pregnant. The deer was pregnant, and this lion or the tiger, I'm not sure which one, but was chasing the deer, and right in front of Maharaj Bharat's hut was a very enchanting waterfall. And this deer, she just, to get rid of the tiger, she just jumped, across on the through the waterfall, and then in between, in mid-air, she actually had a miscarriage, and her baby, she delivered the child, and the baby deer fell into the water, into the waterfall. And then she went on the other side. She jumped on the other side. The tiger was on this side, but then she just couldn't, come and see and save her child also, because she was afraid of that tiger who was standing on the other side. But she just very, helplessly looked at her little baby, floating along the water, but she just had to leave. The tiger also eventually left. But Maharaj Bharat, who witnessed this entire thing, he immediately left his meditation and he saved that little baby deer. He brought it back to his ashram and nursed it to health. He would feed it nice milk and, would take care of this little baby deer and, would play with this baby deer. The deer got very fond of Maharaj Bharat. Maharaj Bharat got very attached to this deer. He would every day actually sit in meditation. That was the purpose why he had come to this forest. So he would sit in meditation. But then his meditation would break and he would say, "Oh, where is that little deer? I hope no tiger came to eat it up." So then he would immediately break his meditation and go look for that little baby deer. And then, so then he said that, okay, he made up a little fence, so that the baby deer doesn't wander away. So he said, okay, now what I'll do is I'll not close my eyes and do meditation. I'll open my eyes and do meditation. So I can keep an eye on the deer so it doesn't wander away. So he started doing open eye meditation. And then this deer would, come and, when he would sit in meditation with open eyes, this deer would come and lovingly, just, go around him and come and touch him and, just nudge him to come and play with it. So then this Bharat Maharaj, would start playing with the deer. So they were developing a very sweet and a very close kind of a bond. And the final days of Maharaj Bharat had come. He was on his deathbed, and all he could think of is that now I'm on my deathbed, who is going to take care of this little baby deer? This baby deer is going to now not have me. Who's going to protect it? So by thinking of that deer, Maharaj Bharat left his body. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajat yante kalevaram tam tam evaiti konteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. That whatever one thinks at the time of death, that state he will attain in his next life. So, Maharaj Bharat, he was on the stage of bhava, it is explained. which is just a stage below prema. And from that stage, Maharaj Bharat fell down. He became a deer in his next life. And although he was a deer, he realized, because he was in the stage of bhava, like how we were discussing that devotional service carries on. This is a proof of that. That Maharaj Bharat, he did not forget, even as in the form of a deer, he did not forget his previous life, that how, because he got attached to that deer, and he forgot his relationship with God, that's why he became born as a deer. So in this life, this particular deer, Maharaj Bharat, would only roam around sadhus. And he would try to listen to Krishna Katha. And then the next life, when the deer gave up his body, he became born as Jada Bharat. Jada means, he came as Bharat only. He was born in the family of a great Brahmana, very, very wonderful Brahmana. But, and he was, he remembered his previous two lives, and he was therefore very, very, he was completely cut off. He kept himself completely cut off from anybody, He would not associate with anybody because he was scared that, if I associate with anyone, I will develop attachment, and I don't want that. And that's why he was called as Jada Bharat. He would pose as if he was mad, so no one would come and talk to him. And then finally he had a very beautiful conversation with Maharaj Rahugan. And we know how he, in Maharaj Rahugan's association, he discussed Krishna Katha. And by the discussion of Krishna Katha with Maharaj Rahugan, he actually went back home, back to Godhead. So Maharaj Bharat's life, Srila Prabhupada mentions in those purports, he says that if Maharaj Bharat would have chosen to be in the association of devotees instead of being alone in the forest, then probably a devotee would come and say, Bharat Prabhu, don't get so attached to a deer. Don't forget your spiritual practice. It's wonderful that you've saved the deer, very good that you've saved the deer, but I think you're getting a little too attached. You're forgetting your sadhana. Don't do that. So the devotees could have given a sign of warning to Maharaj Bharat. But because he was all by himself, he did not have the protection of devotees. So that is why devotee association is extremely essential in our Krishna consciousness. And, it is explained that every incarnation of Krishna comes with a particular weapon. Like Lord Ramachandra, he has the bow and arrow. Lord Balaram, he came with his plow. Lord Parashuram, he came with his axe. So like this, every incarnation, the Dasavatar Leela, if you see, everyone has a particular weapon. But Lord Chaitanya, he is Krishna himself, in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So what was the weapon with which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came? Krishna. In Kali Yuga, with what weapon did Mahaprabhu come? It is said, Krishna Varnam Tvishar Krishnam Sangha Pangastra Parshadam. His astra were his Sangha and Upangas. His associates were the astras. So the astra for Lord Chaitanya is the association of devotees. So with this weapon of association of devotees, we can be able to destroy the effect of Maya Devi. In the battle against Maya Devi, when we are equipped with the association of devotees, then we'll be able to win the battle against Maya Devi. Alone, we don't stand a chance. So with this, we'll end here.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, but before that, thank you, Mataji. Really, the class was very, very nice. Even I very beautiful class. And thank you, Vinaya Mataji, for sending the PDF link and the PDF. Mataji, the question is, in the beginning, you were mentioning that Maya Devi will try to come and deviate us from our path. And then you said that, like you were telling, right, that we should tell her that for one moment, let me just spend my time with Krishna, let me finish my chanting, and then I can spend the rest of the time with you. But in order to do that, Mataji, like to understand, like she's trying to deviate us, our sadhana should be that strong, right? That like sometimes, Mataji, for myself, sometimes I become too lazy. Like I know that I should get up, chant, or I should hear, but I'm like not bothered. So in that case, how should I fight against those situations and convince myself that no, I have to give this time to Krishna right now? That is the question, Mataji.
Well, very nice question. Thank you so much, Radhika Gopika, for that question. See, the thing is that when we understand the importance, yes, I understand that, we all know it theoretically, right? We all understand the importance of it theoretically. But to really implement it, many things get in the way. But how best to do it? Therefore, we need the presence of a Shiksha Guru in our life, who can truly, based on our situation, they can guide us that, okay, this is your situation, that, in this situation, if you do this, that is best for you. So when we get it authorized and when we get it, because, see, spiritual life is something that we can't really rely on just our own minds, because our mind is not in that pure level yet, So we need the constant guidance of the representative of the spiritual master. We need a guidance. If not, we have direct access to the guru, But if we don't have direct access to guru, then at least we need the representative of the guru who can help us, one person who can help us to say that, okay, if you do this in your life, then everything will be sorted out. Then, having the association of such devotees will really help you. Taking such association which really motivates and inspires our Krishna consciousness, that is the kind of thing that we really need to focus on. So that really helps, because when we have that, just like when we go to play basketball, or how if we wanted to excel in any of our academic subjects, we take on extra coaching sessions, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So the coaching sessions are nothing but just extra classes, but it is meant to enhance our subjects. It is meant to enhance our abilities. So that is what just the personal guide does to us. They just share their experience with us, and it just helps in enhancing our own life. Like just now Rupavati Kishori is saying that, how Vinaya was able to just encourage her, and help her in that situation that she was in. It might not have been, exactly like how a Shiksha Guru would do, but she just did it as a wonderful friend. That's what devotees are for, When we have the association of like-minded devotees around us, then they help us in times of difficulty.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So much.
Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I also have a question. Mataji, how do we remember everything? Like, okay, this is the purpose of my life at the right time. Apparently, Bharata forgot at some point. And you said he needs devotee association and so that he can remember. But what if we don't have that? How can, like, at all times, right? So how do we help ourselves in that case?
Well, see, the answer to that is that we do need, there is no other option than, at least devotee association. We, of course, maybe we might not have personal, like, a personal face-to-face kind of association, but there's no excuse to saying that we can't get even phone association. That is available. And we have the association of Srila Prabhupada through his books. That is available. We have the association of, listening to different devotees over, using technology. That is available. So, to say that we don't have association of devotees, that is not a very good argument, so to speak. So, having said that, yes, even when we have devotee association, it is definitely up to us that because you are absolutely right in saying that 24 hours at least we can't be, either reading or on the phone or, even personal association. But there will be some time when we'll be on our own with our own minds, right? So at that time, we have to just remember. We have to constantly practice ourselves to remember and to remind ourselves what have we heard, what have we read. To put that into practice is what we do when we are with ourselves. Does that answer your question? And once we just keep doing that, keep remembering, keep practicing it, then it will become our first nature. It will become our nature. Right?
Yes, Mataji. So that was my follow-up question. Like, how do I make sure that I remember everything? Do I write down things? Mm-hmm. Because when you are speaking in your class, everything seems to seep in. But in a day, it is all gone. I don't remember. So, what is the best way to remember?
See, the best way to remember, first, like out of the 9 processes of devotional service, first comes Shravanam, hearing. So once we hear, we repeat it, Kirtanam, we repeat it. And by Shravanam and Kirtanam, the following resultant activity will be remembrance, Smaranam, will come. It is based on how strong our Shravanam and Kirtanam is for us to remember it all the time. It just depends on the first 2. Right?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.